Hello, traders. FS Collector here. Today is Tuesday and it is March 18th. So, how is everybody doing today? Boy, how's everybody suffering through the dollar? I mean, the dollar is definitely still down. I mean, this dollar is definitely kind of surprising me. I mean, now, like I was talking about yesterday, now that we have this new swing right here, we can move our structure from here to here, which is great news because now if we get a break of this structure like that, I think that would most likely prove that this whole move down is over, probably the completion of a wave one, and then the completion of a wave, or the start of a big wave two, and potentially a big old wave three eventually to come. But boy, we still don't have a bigger structure, and like I've been saying for 2 weeks now, it could easily go down to the 61%, make another bounce, make another lower high, go down to the 78%, make another bounce, make another lower high, and just continue the downtrend. So we have to be super careful about assuming that any big moves are going to go up. Like any big moves are going to happen, like any big moves down on the euro, the pound, the Aussie, the Kiwi, any big moves up on the dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, because there is no proof whatsoever that the dollar is making any significant move to the upside whatsoever. To me, it definitely still kind of has that five wave structure, like possibly a wave one, correction wave two, one, two, three, four, five, wave three, possible correction wave four, and then like a wave five. So it definitely does have that wave, fifth wave structure, which is why I think that if we do get a breaker structure, it should prove the end of a wave one, and it would potentially be a big move up for a wave two. Most likely, at least taking out these highs and going to a percentage of this whole move down. But like I was saying, I mean, we really can't confirm that the wave two has started, and we really can't assume that the wave two has started until it actually proves that it's going to stop by breaking structure. So we'll start off on the euro dollar. I mean, if anybody has any requests, put them in the chats. I'll be more than happy to look at anything. Just put them in the chats on YouTube, and I'll check it out. So the euro dollar, I mean, for me, the next area of resistance on the euro dollar is the 1.1 area. So the 1.1 area is definitely still the next area of resistance, as you can see. Uh, yeah, South Africa. I've never been to South Africa, but I definitely wouldn't mind going. I want to do a lot more traveling in the future. But trading is pretty important. But the good thing about trading is if you're good, you can trade from any time zone. You can trade from anywhere. I mean, it really doesn't matter where you trade from. You can trade from a hotel. You can trade from an Airbnb. You can trade as a digital nomad. So it really doesn't matter where you trade from. But anyways, I mean, honestly, the next big area of resistance for me is definitely the 78% Fibonacci. And I know everybody is just dying to sort this thing, but I mean, honestly, if you would just continue to look for longs, it would have been a much better strategy. This long here today, I didn't take this because I was like probably thinking the same thing that a lot of you guys are thinking. I'm like, oh man, is this really going to continue up again? But boy, look at this. Another 78% fib bounce. I mean, yeah, it did overshoot it a little bit, but man, another impulsive engulfing move to the upside. If you've done nothing but look for longs for the past several weeks, I mean, you have made so much money, it's ridiculous. Or if you've been holding on to longs, you've been making a lot of money also. Sorting right now is just for the suckers. If you're sorting the euro dollar, then you are probably just a liquidity grab for the big money traders. And you don't want to be a liquidity grab. The thing is those big money traders will drive price down purposely just so they can grab, a few hundred thousand, maybe a few $100 million worth of liquidity and then run it back to the upside. So don't be part of those liquidity grabs. Next area of resistance for me on the pound dollar is the 78% Fibonacci retracement right around the 1.315 area. So definitely very bullish. Hey, Andrew from Brazil. Nice. I know a few people from Brazil. Here in Portugal, there's a ton of people from Brazil because obviously, you guys speak a different version of Portuguese. But yeah, there's one of my wife's best friends is from Brazil. He's a really good dude. So, anyways, I mean, I would definitely be looking for logs primarily. Now, the Aussie dollar is a little bit different. The Aussie dollar, we were debating about, we spent a lot of time in the Zoom meeting today talking about the Aussie dollar because there is a chance that this is like a wave A, this is like three waves up for a wave B, and then it turns down for a wave C, and then goes up, and this would be like the wave one and the wave two, and then up for a wave three. But just like the other pairs, I mean, there's no real proof that it's going down yet. Even on the shorter time phase, there's no break of structure. I mean, for me, the last significant break of structure would be way down here, but the sub break of structure to at least prove that this is over would be right here, which it still hasn't broken that either. I mean, we were talking about this pretty intensely today because it really does look like it could be an ABC crunch, and it really does kind of seem like it might just continue down from here. So, I mean, kind of take that as you will. I mean, if you trade in the 1 hour time frame and below, I mean, it is kind of making lower highs, lower highs. If it continues to make lower lows, lower highs, then you probably should be continuing to look for shorts in a downtrend for sure. Pretty significant pullback, but the Aussie and the Kiwi do have a tendency to make some pretty significant pullbacks. I mean, all you gotta do is look at the Yo Aussie, Yo Kiwi, Pound Aussie, Pound Kiwi, and you'll see that that thing makes some really big pullbacks. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna start taking requests from people. Let me take a quick look at gold because gold is another one that I really hope that you guys are not just part of a big liquidity grab because the 278.6 would be the next area of resistance for me, which I think is right around the 3070. Yeah, 3070 area. So, I mean, definitely extremely bullish. This is a pair that I was watching for a possible short this week, or last week on Friday. Last week on Friday, I was telling people in my membership program, I was like, oh, if this breaks and holds below struts, I am definitely going to be looking for short. But instead, what did it do? It went down, it broke, rejected structure, went up, made higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Don't be one of the suckers who thinks that they can go short with zero proof that there's a reason to go short. These are some very, 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 very strong trends for sure. Aussie, yeah, I mean, hey, Joseph, how's it going today? Hey, Hensley. Thanks a lot, Hensley. Nice to see you, buddy. So, yeah, let's start taking some requests. I mean, honestly, I don't know. We were debating this Aussie dollar pretty intensely today. I definitely see two possibilities on this. Just because this move down is very impulsive, so this move up could be corrective and it might go down and then back up. But to be honest with you, if the dollar index doesn't go up and break structure, which it definitely hasn't done, or at least making a golfing move up, then whether or not the Aussie dollar is going to go down or not is extremely debatable. Hey, Ensley, yeah, I'll check that out. ESSP, what is that? Oh, that's a future, right? Futures? Can I just type that in right here on TradingView and that will pop right up? I never really did any futures. Never really looked at futures either. I think that's the Euro futures, isn't it? The Euro and the S&P. So anyways, yeah, let's see here. So anyways, if the dollar doesn't turn up, then this is not going to turn down. And I still think there is definitely a chance that this does just keep on trending up. So you definitely, definitely, definitely want to be very cautious about sorting. Yeah, there's a lot of news coming out tomorrow. This is an extremely, extremely big week for a lot of different pairs. This evening we have the Bank of Japan interest rate, which they don't plan on lowering interest rates. I looked it up and it's 3 o'clock in the morning UK time. So if you're in Europe or you're in the if you're in Europe or the UK, then you definitely are probably not going to be trading this. But tomorrow we have JPY interest rate. We also have US dollar interest rate, and then on Thursday we have UK interest rate news, and we have Switzerland interest rate news. None of these countries so far say that they're going to lower interest rates from the forecast, at least. Whether or not they do lower it or not, I guess is yet to be determined. I think that I would like to see the U.S. interest rates go down a little bit, and UK interest rates could probably go down a little bit also. They're still pretty high, honestly, especially since so inflation is pretty much where Powell would like it to be. So, anyways, yeah, let's check out that JPY basket because boy, that thing broke such a hard recently. I think this move down should prove that this is now in a downtrend. The only problem I have is technically that right there is a lower high. So I mean that is a little bit concerning that maybe it's an ABC correction within an uptrend, but oh boy, I think that this break of structure should confirm that this is a wave C and it should confirm that we're now probably gonna go down. below these lows, and this is going to be three waves of A, three waves of B, and then three waves of C, and then this whole thing is going to be the wave B. So the wave B potentially would not end until over here. So yeah, that means that I'm pretty bearish on the definitely bearish the JPY basket. Definitely bullish the JPY pairs for sure. The thing is with the US dollar yen, you do have a little bit of dollar against yen. Now, unfortunately, the dollar and the yen are both like primary market drivers, in my opinion, because they have the most correlation between all the currencies, in my opinion. You know, if you look at all the dollar pairs, they're very correlated except for gold. If you look at all the yen pairs, they're very correlated. If you start looking at like all the euro pairs, they're not that correlated at all. If you start looking at all the pound pairs, they're not really that correlated. And same thing with the Aussie, the Kiwi, the CAD, and the Swiss. So in my opinion, you got a really strong, you have two really strong currencies kind of battling it out right here. But if the JPY is kind of the leading currency in this one, which it seems like it probably is, then there is definitely a chance that this is now going to turn up and that this is an A, B, and a C. The thing is I think to really confirm this, we need to break the weekly structure, and this weekly time frame needs to turn bullish. You know, this weekly candle needs to be very bullish, I think, in order to confirm that we're making a much bigger move up like that. Because on the daily time frame, I still got my Fibonacci here, and we are definitely still in a downtrend. And we actually bounced off to 61% today, so that was actually one of my targets for this potentially being a wave C. Yeah, so here we go. This is how it gets a little tricky because this could be an A, this could be a B, and this could be a C. There's no break of structure though. The last primary structure is right there. So I mean, unless this is like a WXY, which I kind of doubt that it is, this might just make a higher low and just continue the uptrend later on. I wouldn't. I don't really think that's going to keep going down. I mean, it definitely could, but I kind of doubt that it's going to keep going down at this point. I bet compared to this right here, there's a good chance that this move down is probably just going to be another correction within an uptrend. Maybe it will perhaps go down and do something like this, go back down to these lows, but I kind of have a doubts that that is going to continue the downtrend. On these shorter time frames, I would definitely have my Fibonacci retracement from here to here. And if it starts to, go below the 78% Fibonacci retracement, then it probably is going to keep going down. It's just that this is three waves right here. That is definitely one, two, three waves. Makes you think that this move is going to make a higher low and potentially continue the uptrend. And we do have JPY news this evening also, so there is a good chance that that does just keep on trending up. Hey, Chrissy, how's it going? Let me see here. I'm starting to really see Aussie dollar for Joseph. Yeah, we kind of already touched on this a little bit. This is at a really crucial point. And to me, it all depends on the US dollar index. If the US dollar index breaks up, Aussie dollar is likely going to break down. And while the dollar index is making a wave too, this will go down, take out these lows, finishing off its wave two before it continues the uptrend. But the whole thing is the dollar index doesn't have to turn. The dollar index can just go down to the next fib level and just keep on going up and then down, up, down, up, down. Honestly, my target for the US dollar and the DXY is really low. I think we're going down to at least 100% Fibonacci extension on the US dollar and the DXY. I don't analyze the DXY, but it's exactly the same analysis. I think this is an A. I think that's like a regular flat for a wave B, and now we're in a wave C, which potentially could go down to 78%, maybe even a 94, $95 area before it continues back up, which is kind of exactly what Trump is wanting anyways. So he said before he even got elected that he wanted the dollar to go down to make trade much more lucrative. So, I mean, the Aussie dollar, yeah, I would say is technically, even on the 1 hour time frame, even though it's kind of going down right now, that's a little bit of a lower high right there. There is a chance that this turns into an ABC correction and just continues the uptrend. So keep an eye on it. the trend is always your friend, and the trend is definitely up on the higher time frames. So keep an eye on it. It might just continue the uptrend pretty easily. South Africa. Oh, if I help you make your first 100K. If anybody is interested, I mean, you can join my membership. I do offer tons and tons and tons of help, tons of educational information. So if anybody is interested, it's at my website, fxtripcollector.com. I also keep my membership extremely cheap because I want it to be extremely affordable for everybody. I'm not looking to make a ton off of my memberships. I'm just looking to make, a couple K, which will run my free Discord channel, which is 100% free to join. But this is only $30 a month. It comes with a trading course. It comes with a ton of educational information. It comes with a private community. So definitely check that out. The link for that is in the chats. But also make sure you check out my Discord channel because my Discord channel is 100% free to join itself. So definitely check those out. Okay. So what is that? The UK you said or the US? Where we at? US 100. So Nasdaq, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones. I think there's a good chance that we're in a correction to the push down now. Most likely a way B, but it could possibly continue the uptrend because I do see the possibility of it being the continuation of the uptrend because a lot of them look like three waves down, three waves up, and then an impulsive down. So there's a chance that this just continues the uptrend. There's a chance this is like a flat, an expanding flat type thing, and it just keeps on trending up from here. But I would definitely be looking at this as at least turning into something like this, maybe the 61 or the 78%. My initial thoughts were that this was going to be an A B and it was going to go down and make a wave C, and this was all going to be a wave 4 on the weekly time frame. So with that in mind, I would be looking for logs. More than likely, it's going to make a correction to the whole move down, but I would definitely be watching my Fibonacci retracement levels for longs. I think there's a very good chance, especially with the breaker structure we had recently, which I think happened today. So we got a breaker structure, pull back below structure. I would be keeping a close eye on Fibonacci levels for long opportunities. So definitely that is my initial guess on that one. And honestly, the Nasdaq is still pushing down, but I still kind of think that same thing is likely on Nasdaq also. I mean, there's a chance that this right here is an A, this is a B, and this is a C, and it just, continues the uptrend from here. But my initial thoughts were that this was definitely going to be an A, and that this was going to be a B. Maybe it does go down, make a double bottom type situation, but I think there's a better chance that this is going to go up to the 61, 78% and then continue down for wave C. So basically, on all three of them, my analysis is the same. On the shorter time frames, they are definitely a little bit different. And this one, honestly, kind of looks like it might keep going down. Honestly, it doesn't. It kind of looks like an ABC right here. But I personally would be keeping a close eye on my fib levels. I mean, if it starts to turn up at a fib level, I would get long. And this exact same thing is applying to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones definitely does look like a possible ABC correction. So hopefully what happens is you're looking for longs. And while you're looking for longs, if it just goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, then great. While you're looking for longs, if it goes up, makes three waves up to a fib level, and then makes a very aggressive turn to the downside, that's when you would stop looking for longs and start looking for shorts for the continuation of the downtrend. I think it's going to be a wave B, but it could turn into the continuation of the uptrend. So I would be keeping a very close eye on my fib levels. That's for sure. Fibonacci from here to here. If you see some sort of a three-way pullback to a fib level, look at all these three-way pullbacks on the move down. One, two, three waves up. One, two, three waves up. One, two, three waves up. That one's not the prettiest thing, but one, two, three waves up. Even that right there, one, two, three waves up. That's just a regular flat right there. So I would definitely still be very. I think there's a good chance that we're gonna make a wave B, but it could continue the uptrend. So be very prepared for that. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. Aussie dollar. What's the ES? I'm gonna have to make a new tab, I think, for futures. Let's see. There you go. E mini S&P futures. Let me know, Ensley, if this is what you want. I believe it is. It should be pretty much the same thing as the euro dollar. Oh wow, it's not actually, is it? It's not the same thing as the euro dollar. This might not be the right pair. Let me know if it's not. ES is S&P futures. Okay, yeah, so this is it. Okay. So it should be the same thing as the S&P 500. Oh wow, it really is the same thing as the S&P 500. Oh, I thought it was the Yo futures. I'm not a futures guy, but I thought for some reason this was the Yo futures. Yeah, it should be the same count as the S&P 500. There's a chance this is an ABC correction and it just keeps on trending up from here. It kind of looks like a possible expanding flat because it is definitely one, two, three ways down, one, two, three ways up. You would kind of expect this to be five ways down for wave C. But I would definitely be keeping an eye on my fib levels because I do see the possibility that this turns into a wave four. If you go all the way up to the weekly time frame, it really looks like a wave four. It looks like this is the beginning of a wave one. This is a wave two. This is all a wave three. And this little double top we got here is the 345 of three. It really looks like this is an A on the weekly. And it really seems like this potentially would be a wave B. The rum stock. Yeah, I can take a look at that. You don't have to tip me, Joseph, every time you want me to look at something, buddy, but I do appreciate it. Thank you for the support. I don't think it's going to be that big, though. It's potentially going to be something like that. Wave four and then potentially wave five. So it's hard to know on the daily time frame whether we're looking at a wave B or whether we're looking at a continuation of the uptrend. If it's a continuation of the uptrend, it should do something like this. Or like, or like that. It should be pretty strong. It should be like doink, 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 continue up. If not, and it does something like this, then it would be a wave B, ABC correction. So I guess keep an eye out for that, definitely. Let's see. Aussie dollar, Joseph, rum. Yeah, I'll take a look at rum. You're next on the list. Then we'll look at oil and a few other things. Hey, Nay, how's it going, buddy? Let me take a look at this rum, and then I will. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. You posted that log entry a few hours ago. Whoa, what is this? Was it closed down every day? Hmm. Oh, that was the turnover. Yeah, definitely. Check out the Aussie-Swiss for you. I've never traded futures in my life. This must be pre-market right here, right? This is the pre-market. And then this is the New York session, right? So this is pre-market. This is New York session. That must be what that is. I don't have that on my other charts. Let's see. Stocks. I don't know if I've ever looked at REM. Let me check it out. Ooh, is that the correct? Oh, what's this? I got it on futures still. RUM, sorry. RUM. RUM. Hey, baby. YouTube. Oh, Rumba. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. I see what you got. All right. What does this look like? First thing I always do is go all the way up to the monthly and the weekly because what's gonna likely tell you what's going on. Earnings and revenue is coming on March 25th. You got earnings reports. Hmm. So first thing I would do is throw my Fibonacci on the whole move down. Oh wow, we're right on to 78%. So if that's what you're looking at, then that's a pretty good clue, isn't it? Yeah, right at the 78%. Ooh, I do see five waves right there too. Look at that. There's one. Well, that's kind of three waves down, but one, two, three up. Even though that's a lower high, I definitely think that's part of the way B, because then you have a one, two. That right there is the three, four, five, and it kind of looks like an ending diagonal on the sort of time frames there, like an ending diagonal wave five potentially, which is usually an ending pattern. Obviously, it's the ending diagonal, so obviously that's an ending pattern most of the time. I would definitely like to see a break of structure. I would definitely like to see a nice solid break, but I do totally agree with your reasonings for wanting to buy, especially because it's a 78% of uh, that whole move up on the weekly time frame. Man, it kind of looks like three waves, and then five waves, which is definitely an Elliott wave pattern. Oh wow, like look at this. I see. Let's go down to the 2 hour. Man, that's definitely an ending diagonal, I think. Ending diagonal is supposed to have a big wave one, a smaller wave three, and then an even smaller wave five, or an equal wave five. That really looks like an ending diagonal to me. That actually seems like a very good example, possibly, of an ending diagonal. Which an ending diagonal is technically supposed to make some sort of a wedge shape. You know, in a downtrend, it's supposed to kind of look like that. In an uptrend, it's supposed to kind of look like maybe not quite so steep, but kind of like that, like this. I would like to see a break of structure to confirm it probably is going to go down and make a double bottom. It is almost definitely going to go down, probably grab liquidity from these lows. I almost guarantee it's going to go down and take out those lows before it turns up, but it definitely looks extremely close to turning up, in my opinion. Definitely. Like, probably this week. Maybe the report is on the 25th, so that's probably going to bring in a lot of volume on this pair. Let's see. Let's see. Oil. Oil was something I was keeping an eye out for a possible swing trade, but it didn't follow through, did it? I had a line right here to alert me if the line broke. Just go on, lad. Yeah, probably is a really good place to go long. Elliott Wave was, Frost and Proctor. They didn't trade currencies; they traded individual stocks. And Mr. Elliott himself, the person who invented Elliott Wave, he was a stock trader. He didn't trade currencies and stuff. So Elliott Wave was designed for stocks and stuff. I mean, it works really good on pretty much anything, anyways. But I still think we're going to go down, take out these lows. I was kind of second guessing that yesterday when they started to push up so hard, and today, but seeing what happened, that structure tells me that yeah, it's going to keep going down. It's going to go down. It's going to grab most of these lows, and then it's probably going to turn up for that big move that we've been waiting for. I'm definitely still waiting for a big move up, but it definitely hasn't started yet. I still think it's going to go up though at some point. I still think it's going to turn up to about $100 and then go down to about $36. And then from there, I'll probably go all the way up to who knows. Some people are saying that gas is going to break the all-time highs at some point in the near year or so. Somebody from Germany was saying that gas could get to like 160, 180, or 185 in the next couple of years. We'll see. If you haven't done so yet, definitely do join my Discord channel. It is 100% free to join, so definitely do check that out if you haven't done so. These live streams are really for me to interact with people and to and to take requests. So if anybody has something they want me to look at, put it in the chats. If I miss it, put it in there again because sometimes I get caught up in conversation. I think somebody just said something that I might have missed. Aussie-Swiss. There we go for Zen. Let's see. So Aussie-Swiss. I was debating. I mean, we really can't prove it one way or the other yet. I mean, honestly, with the Swiss, you gotta kind of admit that we're in a downtrend that has been going on for about 70 plus years. This is the yearly chart right here. Every single one of my charts, I have the yearly chart, which goes back all the way to 1948 or something like that, 1950, something like that. No, 1960. It goes back to 1960. So we're talking 40, 80, 85 years of data. And you can't really deny that this is a better downtrend for about 85 years. So talk about the trend is your friend. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because I suspect that this is a 3-3 pattern or something. Kind of looks like it. On shorter time phase, it looks like three waves, three waves, three waves, 61% potentially turn back up, and this would be like an a B, and a C. Is this the wave B? Looks like it is a wave AWXY. So that kind of seems pretty likely to me. The whole thing is that it's still in a downtrend. It never broke any structure. I mean, yeah, it broke structure on the 1 hour time frame, but that only proves that the last wave is over. It doesn't prove that the whole trend is over. That's for sure. You know, this break of structure we saw last week only proves that this move from here to here is over, which is just a 5-way pattern down. Kind of looks like it's time to make another ABC, doesn't it? Overall, I would still be pretty bearish. I would still be looking for shorts, even though my Elliott wave says maybe at some point it is going to go up and break structure. I always trust my Fibonacci analysis and my structure analysis more than my Elliott wave analysis because Elliott wave, even though if you can correctly label the past, then you can correctly predict the future with Elliott wave. Now the problem is the Elliott wave is so discretionary. You know, you could ask probably 10 different professional Elliott wave traders for their analysis on this, and you would probably come up with 10 different analysis. So Elliott wave is extremely discretionary. But for me, structure analysis is not discretionary at all. You know, a Fibonacci retracement is a Fibonacci retracement for everybody. A structure level is a structure level for everybody. So that's not discretionary at all, which is why I do kind of trust it a little bit more. My Elliott wave brain makes me think that it's going to go up and break structure. My structure analysis and Elliott wave and Fibonacci analysis makes me think, oh man, this thing's just going to keep going down because we are in an 84, 85 year downtrend. So talk about the trend is your friend. Like I said, this is an 85-year downtrend on the Swiss. It kind of looks like an ending diagonal on the bottom here, but it is definitely about an 85-year downtrend. Talk about a trend is your friend, like I said. Phew, that's crazy, yeah? So, anyways, yeah, let's see here. Does anybody else have any more requests? Put them in the chats. I'll be more than happy to look at anything. I try to stay on for a full hour as long as people continue to do requests. So definitely throw in your requests. We'll take a look. I think the Christy wanted the Euro dollar, which we looked real quickly, but she killed it on longs on the Euro dollar. She got long down here someplace, and she held it. I think she ended up getting out someplace around here, but man, she was up. I think she said about 450 pips on this move, something like that. Yeah, I think she made 455 pips or something on that move. So that was freaking amazing. That was awesome. I love hearing those type of stories. So, anyways, I mean, the euro dollar is definitely in an uptrend. The next area of support, resistance, or resistance since we're going up is right here at 78%. I think there's a good chance it probably will hit that 78% before we see too much of a pullback. I was kind of hoping that it would make a pullback just because I was wanted to go long in a bigger way rather than just catching little teeny impulsive moves up, which we've been trying to do. I'd like to go long, like something here and then get out there. But the little impulsive moves are still good. Man, this one today, we were in the live stream today this afternoon. We were looking at this, and it was like right there. I was like, boy, that looks like a long entry, but do we trust it? I talked myself out of getting in because I was like, I don't know if I trust that. And boy, it turned out to be a good trade, definitely. I mean, the trend is definitely up. Nobody can deny that. And the market sentiment is extremely bearish. So, I mean, I think that retail is going to continue to get beat up pretty badly until probably at least a 78% Fibonacci retracement. Definitely. Yeah, I'll look at the Euro Aussie and the US dollar CAD. No problem. As you'll notice, my Elliott wave analysis only really gets me to the daily to 4 hour time frame. Anything below that, I don't really do a whole lot of Elliott wave analysis. It's just structure analysis. Just looking for three-way pullbacks and entries in the direction of the higher time frames more often than not. So yeah, I mean, let's see here. Yo Aussie and then dollar CAD. Boy, we had Canadian CPI news today, which inflation is up a little bit, but not a lot in Canada. It's definitely up a little bit. And boy, the CAD really didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Kind of disappointing news. Honestly, the I think the only thing that the CAD currency really cares about right now is tariff talks. They're just so terrified of tariffs, which I can't blame them. Jeez, it's gonna be pretty devastating for them. Yo Aussie is definitely gonna pull back, obviously, and most likely it's just the beginning of this move. I think we just ended the first section of it. Yeah, definitely. I think this is three waves for A, three waves of A. So more than likely, I would be expecting a wave B now. So on the 1 hour time frame to the 4 hour time frame, I would put my Fibonacci on the move down from here to here. And I would be looking for it to make some sort of a corrective pattern, and I would probably expect it to go up and take out structure too. So that puts us up to probably the 61 or the 78% fib, maybe something like this, and then down. Probably an A, a B, and a C, or maybe a 1, a 2, and a 3. I have no idea if it's a 1, 2, 3. I suspect that it's an ABC, but I try not to force my analysis on the market. I still think there's a good chance that it's a wave 3 on the monthly, and if it's a wave 3 on the monthly, then on the daily, it's definitely just an ABC crescent to the uptrend. But it could potentially last a while. It could end up doing something like that. The last ABC crescent we had lasted probably a month or more, right? 53 days. So, don't be surprised if this lasts, maybe up to 60 days or so, which could put us all the way into the middle of May, the beginning of May, maybe. Some sort of an ABC type thing, I bet is pretty damn likely. Something like this, and then down like this, and then probably up again. Seems pretty likely to me. US dollar CAD. Like I said, the Canadian news was pretty disappointing today, in my opinion. But I think it's just gonna do what I've been saying for weeks. I'm not sure about the way B. That's my only problem. But yeah, what's that, Joseph? Why is the euro flying? Because of tariffs. Tariffs are pretty wild. Trump is really rattling the bird cage. That's for sure. That bird cage needs a little good rattling now. Yeah, the DAX is still really strong. We were looking at the DAX today because most of the other stock markets have made a pretty significant dump. But the DAX is still pretty much all the way up at all-time highs. It is at all-time highs. So yeah, definitely. US dollar CAD. It's hard to know whether it's an ABC correction or not. My gut makes me think that it's not. Let's see. Yeah, I'll check out the FTSE and the Euro Pound, US dollar Swiss. We were talking today about how it could be an ABC correction, and that this could be a wave A, this could be a, oh, whoops, and this would be the wave B, and then it would potentially turn up for wave C, and this would be an ABC of B on the higher time phase. But I'm not really, I don't really think that's gonna be what happens because that's gonna stretch it out way too much, in my opinion. I think we're already in the wave C. I think it's going to keep going down. I don't think the dollar's going to go up yet. I think it's going to keep going down. I think we're going to go down to the 78% and then come back up for wave C. So that would be a A, this would be a B, and then back up for a C, and this would be hopefully a wave 1 and a wave 2, and then down for a big old giant wave 3. It's definitely what I've been thinking for sure. So if that's correct, then this is going to go down more. Yeah, I'm very bullish on on all the dollar pairs if you look at the higher time phase. I think the euro dollar is going to probably a minimum the 1.258, 1.25. I think the pound dollar minimum is going to like the 1.5. Aussie dollar, I think, is probably minimum going to go up to 0.815. Kiwi dollar, I think, is going to go up minimum to 0.755. Dollar CAD, I think, is going to go down to potentially someplace around the 1.195. Dollar Swiss, I don't know quite exactly. I think the dollar Swiss will probably go down and take out the low, so that's probably down to 0.70, probably 0.705 area. But those are some really high time frame outlooks. You know, that's something that's going to take years to play out. That's like 2030 or something by the time it gets there. I don't know. We have a breaker structure on the 1 hour. So is this now going up for wave C of B? Or is this just gonna like a pullback and know this is like an expanding ABC and it's gonna just go down? My gut, because of the dollar index, is telling me down. I think it's gonna go down to 78%. I feel like it's gonna go down to 78%, then it's gonna turn up, probably up to this area and then down again. That's definitely what my gut's telling me on that one. Yeah, DAX, US dollar Swiss. Yeah, dollar Swiss, I mean, sorts all the way. Definitely sorts all the way. I think the Aussie dollar is a little confusing because there's multiple possibilities on that one. That's why it's a little confusing. I agree. No, I don't follow those stocks, but I can always look at it for you if you want. But I didn't see it, no. I think the dollar Swiss is eventually going to go down, take out these lows, but it kind of looks like now it's going to go down to 61%. And then make another pullback, and then make a lower high, and then go down to 78%, then make a pullback, make a lower high, and then go down to the 100%. I tried to go long on the dollar Swiss today because I thought for sure this was going to be an A, a B, and I thought it was going to, at the new US Open, I thought it was going to go up for a wave C and then go down. So I took a little bit of a loss today on this one, but really wasn't that bad. And anytime I trade counter trend, it's always a smaller trade anyways. It's usually a 0.2% position, but not too bad really. Nothing to worry about, that's for sure. So definitely bearish on that, that's for sure. FTSE, I feel like the footsie's in a way B also, but sorting this any of the stock markets is, unless you're just scalping or day trading, is not probably not the best idea. And the reason why I think this is a way B is because on this one you got an extremely clear five ways up, very very clear five ways up, and you got a very clear break and hold below structure. So you would expect this to be a down, up in three waves, and then down again to a percentage of this move up, and then potentially continue the uptrend. So I kind of feel like that's what's going to end up happening. I think we are in a wave A right now. But the whole thing is it's possible that it just goes up and goes up and goes up and makes new highs. But I think there's a better chance it's going to go down, make a B, go up to the 78%, maybe make a C, and this is going to be an ABC. Then it's going to go down again. Because to me, this is definitely a trend. This is definitely three waves down. So that really should be a three. That should be a four. It should be a five. I don't think you can call this an expanding flat, even though it does kind of look like it. An expanding flat has to fit a certain criteria to be called an expanding flat, and that definitely doesn't fit it in my eyes. So I think there's a good chance we're now in a crescent just move down. Shorter time frames, I don't know. We'll probably get one more push up. I don't know. Maybe go up to 70, 61, then start a move down, which would be a crescent to the move up, and then probably back up to the 78% or something. Your pound where is it right there? Been a little bit on the slow side these last couple of days also. I think the euro pound is going to go up into this zone up here, 0.86 area eventually. I think we're, I think it needs to go down first though. One, two, three, four, five, wave A, wave B, potentially down for wave C, and then potentially back up, maybe like a 1-2 of wave C. Yeah, I already looked at gold, but I can probably take a quick look if we got time. So I got my Fibonacci retracement from here to here. Whether it's going down now or not, I don't know. It might make a run for 78% before it goes down, but I think it's going to go down, make a wave C, and then potentially back up for the continuation of the uptrend. Mostly because this is five waves and this is three waves. It potentially should turn into five waves down and then continue the uptrend. It looks like a really nice traditional ABC correction. Let's see. US dollar CAD, dollar CAD, dollar CAD, pound CAD. I think the pound CAD is definitely still in an uptrend. And it definitely doesn't look like it's over because this really looks like a 1-2 right here. So I think it's going to go up again. But it doesn't seem like we have a big enough pullback yet, in my opinion. But boy, it definitely looks like it's trying to continue the uptrend, doesn't it? It's hard to know whether this is going to continue the uptrend or not. If it really is in a wave four, then you would expect it to be around the same size as this wave two in time, which means it potentially would end up doing something like that. Hmm. Definitely looks pretty corrective. It's probably going to turn back down, I bet. After it breaks structure, I bet it'll turn back down. Pound Aussie should be pretty much the same as the other one I looked at. Yeah, I think at this point you would probably want to throw your fib on the whole move. I think we're in a wave B or wave two right now. I think it's going to go up to the 61 or the 78%. Probably some sort of an ABC correction. But then potentially continue the downtrend from there. I don't think this pullback is over. I mean, boy, if we're in the middle of a wave three, though, we have to keep in mind that this thing is going to, every month it's going to be bullish probably for the next few months. and it's gonna just keep on pushing. So you gotta be careful with assuming that it's gonna go down in a very significant way, because boy, it doesn't have to. This could potentially even be a running flat right here that could potentially just keep on going up. Overall, I'm definitely very bullish on all the pound pairs on the higher time frames. If you look at the higher time frames, I think we're in a wave three on the pound Aussie, the pound Kiwi, the pound CAD, I think is a wave three. The pound Swiss, I also think is going to go up and take out the higher wave four, which is different than the other ones. And obviously, I'm very bullish on the pound dollar. Uh, da, 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 da. ANGI. Hey, Trading Queen. Yeah, I didn't look at the DAX. We talked about the DAX, but I didn't look at it. Is that the ticker? Yeah, I can look at that. I feel like I missed. Oh, I missed gold. We'll look at that, and then we'll switch it up. We'll look at gold, and then we'll look at the DAX. People love that gold. I am really not a gold fan, even though it's been one hell of a trend. ANGI. My stock list is getting. Hey, Yen Barry, my stock list is getting big. Holy crap! Look at that. Is this a stock or is this a crypto? It's a stock, isn't it? Yeah, it's a stock. Wow, it looks like a cryptocurrency. Yeah, this is a tough one because we're at all-time lows, so there's literally nothing to base it on. I don't really know if I'm not really sure what I would, what my opinion would be on something like that. Just because we're at all-time lows, makes it a little harder to get a good forecast. I think the best thing to do would be throw your Fibonacci flat on there that adds the extra levels, the 123 and the 138. And yeah, I feel like it's still down. I feel like it's gonna go down more. It's hard to say what it's gonna find resistance at or support at. I think it's still down. I think at this point it might go down to the 1.23, which is the 1.25 area, 1.25. Unless it goes up and breaks structure, I would have to still be pretty bearish. This thing is extremely bearish looking. It might go down a little bit further. We're at all-time lows today. I think it might have touched all-time lows. Maybe not quite, but pretty damn close. Da, da, da. Probably a little bit more down, unfortunately. That's a crazy looking thing. The DAX and gold. That's right. I do cover these. These are the indices that I do kind of keep an eye on: the S&P, Nasdaq, Dow, the DAX, the FTSE, and then oil and natural gas. I kind of keep an eye on too a little bit, and then everything else on the list, obviously, I keep an eye on too. Everything else, I don't really watch on a daily basis, like any cryptos or commodities or anything like that. I think that gold is going to go up to at least a 278 at this point. I think we're going up to 3,070. 3,070, I think, would be my next target. To be honest with you, I was hoping that it was going to turn right here. I was going to go short if it did, ride it back down to these lows, but it never gave me a chance to go short, so I never went short. I don't really trade gold as a daily basis. Unfortunately, unless you're trading on an extremely short time frame, the only strategy on gold right now is to be on a very short time frame looking for longs, or to be really patiently waiting for a much bigger pullback, which there's no sign of a big pullback happening. So, unfortunately, the only thing I would recommend is longs, and I definitely wouldn't be trying to go long right now. I would only go long if it started to pull back, and then I would try to recognize some sort of an ABC and then go long. I mean, there has been some pretty clear patterns on the 15-minute, like Menu was showing us today. I mean, that's an expanding. But unless you were sitting here watching the 15-minute time frame all day long, you probably didn't see some of these. This does kind of look like it could be three waves up and then go down, take out the lows, and then continue up. But I know the yen pairs are looking pretty bearish with the yen news coming out today. I agree. Right at the 61% fib too. It could keep going down. We are definitely in a downtrend, and the trend is always your friend. That's for sure. Man, the DAX didn't even really make much of a pullback at all. We are definitely still in a wave three on the DAX. I thought potentially we could have started a wave four, but I agree. DAX is not over yet. I think this is a wave one. I think this is a wave two. I think this is a one of three. This is a two of three. We are definitely still in a wave three of three. I think the DAX is probably going to go up more too. We're definitely in a wave three of three. Next support level for me is 24,000. I was thinking that it was going to start a wave four, but no, definitely not. Look at that. That was a running flat right there too. Some of these stock markets do make some pretty nice patterns. Some of these indices. I just recently, pretty much within the last year, just kind of started watching them and paying attention to them a little bit. Man, look at that. Perfect ABC correction right there. So right here, perfect ABC. Right there, perfect running ABC. Higher high, higher high. Back here, perfect expanding ABC. Higher high, lower low. This is a running ABC right there. Actually, that's a contracting ABC. They're just everywhere. Even on shorter time frames, I bet that's an ABC. So I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with Joseph. Longs all the way. Pullback entries. Look at that. One, two, three waves down. Didn't really do a whole lot today, did it? Yeah, it pushed up pretty nice this morning. It pushed up really nice this morning, but boy, the move started at 6 a.m. UK time. Normally the move starts at market open London time, like nine o'clock in the morning London time. The FTSE has a tendency to move a lot during that time too. Sometime between like 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. UK time. It has a tendency to make a really nice move around that time. Let's see. Did I get everybody's requests? Next, did gold. Yeah, yo, dollar, man. Apparently, Trump is talking to Putin tonight, so I believe it's happening at. I think it's happening pretty much now, within the next hour or two. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure Trump and Putin are having a conversation tonight, so that might possibly move the markets unexpectedly. But like I always say, if you haven't done so already, definitely do check out my Discord channel. It is 100% free to join. Never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. Also, don't forget to check out my website if anybody's interested in the membership. It really helps support the channel, and it comes with a ton of benefits. So definitely check that out. It's only $30 per month, and it comes with a ton of exclusive analysis and all kinds of good stuff. So check that out. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow is the interest rate news for the US, and that comes out at the same time that the live stream starts. So we're starting tomorrow's live stream at 5:30 UK time instead of 6 o'clock. So that way we can have about a half an hour to analyze before the interest rate news comes out tomorrow. So I will be starting tomorrow's live stream 30 minutes earlier than I normally do, and I'm probably going to be doing about a 2 hour live stream tomorrow. So definitely bring your popcorn tomorrow. Get a couple maybe cold beers, some popcorn, something, and get ready for the Powell. So Powell's not the market mover that he used to be now that Trump's around, but yeah, he definitely is still a market mover. So tomorrow's going to be a pretty important day. So get some rest and be ready for that. I will talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading, everyone.